Right, what's happening, people? So as you can see, I'm currently first in the world in Division Rivals. And with VPL TOTS coming up this weekend, I thought now would be a perfect time to share the tactics that I used to get there. So getting into it, the formation I used to get first in the world was 4-1-2-1-2 second variation or 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. For the defensive style, I always use balance. Personally, you of course got drop back or constant pressure. The only time I use constant pressure is when you're losing, of course. Drop back I just don't really recommend, so balance for me. In terms of width, I only use 40. Again, I don't really like it to be too low or too high when it comes to width. I just think if it's too low, anything below 40 I think is just too narrow and they can just abuse the wings. Anything higher than like roughly 60 and they can just exploit the middle. So for me personally, I use 40 for this. In terms of the depth, I use 60. I want my team to push up a little bit higher. Reason for that is because narrow is quite an attacking formation, so when you win the ball back, you typically have options in the middle. So yeah, 60 depth for that. And again, no higher than 60 in my opinion, unless you're losing the game. I just think there's no need for it. In terms of build-up play, I use balance. Of course, you have slow build-up, fast build-up, long ball, but for me, balance is the best. Sometimes I'd use fast build-up if you're losing the game, and again, you need to get a goal in the game. You need to try and win the game. Fast build-up's good for that, but in general, balanced. In terms of chance creation, I'd always recommend direct passing for any situation, even if you're winning a game, of course, at 0-0. And again, if you need to get a goal in the game, I think direct passing is the best. Reason for that is your strikers typically will push the opposition centre-backs back into their own box. Really and truly, the centre-backs should use their brain and step up and just allow the strikers to be offside. But in this game, it just doesn't work like that. The centre-backs will just decide to drop into their own 6-yard box, so it just allows space in and around the box. So definitely direct passing. In terms of width, I use 55. Again, similarly to the width and depth for the defensive side of things, I don't like it too low or too high. For me, 55 was perfect. Players in the box are like 4. I don't like it any higher than like roughly 6. I think players just end up bombing forward too quickly, especially when you get down the wing. The box gets way overloaded. There's not much space. The AR would just mark the players, and it's too crowded basically. So with 4, typically you have 2 strikers in the box against 2 centre backs. It allows you to do skill moves and just has a bit of space to left stick dribble. So definitely 4 players in the box for me. Corners and free kicks, I have it on 2. Reason for that is because of counter attacks. I think any higher than that, and you're susceptible to the counter attacks, and 2 sort of stops that in my opinion. So yeah, those are the tactics for my 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. Now, getting into the instructions, on my keeper, I just like to have balance. You can have come for crosses or sweeper keeper, but for me personally, I don't really like those, so I just have balance. On the fullback, I have both of them on stay back while attacking. Again, for me, the narrow is very attacking, so for me, I don't really like my fullbacks bombing on, but if you do like that, you can have just put them on balanced attack and they'll bomb down the wings. In terms of the defensive midfielder, I have stay back while attacking, cover centre. For me, I wouldn't mess around with this. I would use stay back while attacking and cover centre because you want someone in the middle that stays back. Reason for that is because I have my central midfielder here on get forward and cover wing. I also have my left central midfielder on balance attack and cover centre. So Hullet will occasionally go forward and Messi will get forward every chance he gets. I have get forward on Messi, of course, because he's more attacking out of Hullet and himself. I have him on cover wing, though. The reason I have him on cover wing is because I want him to defend as a right midfielder, and I have Hullet on cover centre because I want him to defend as a central midfielder. Now, I defend in a 4-4-2 as a narrow, and to make that happen, all you need to do is have Neymar or your Cam on basic defensive support. If you have them on stay forward, which a lot of people do have when they're playing narrow, he will actually defend as a Cam. So if you want to defend in a narrow as a narrow, have him on stay forward. But if you're someone like me who wants to defend in a 4-4-2, because I think that's better for defending, have him on basic support because he will actually defend as a wide midfielder, so like a left midfielder or right midfielder instead of a Cam. And finally, getting to the forwards, I have balance for both my forwards. I don't have getting behind, anything like that. Only time I put getting behind my forwards is if I'm losing the game, because personally I don't want them constantly bombing behind. I just want them to stand there sometimes make runs, sometimes stand there with the ball to feet. So yeah, personally I don't have anything on my forwards. But yeah, those are the tactics and instructions for my 4-1-2-1-2 narrow. So yeah, those were the tactics and instructions that I used for the 4-1-2-1-2 narrow to get first in the world. Once again, if you guys could drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel, it would help me out massively. Also, follow me on other social media platforms such as Twitter and Twitch. I'd really appreciate it. The links will be in the description down below. And finally, do let me know in the comment section down below how you get on if you decide to use my tactics, and I'll catch you in the next one.